So I figured I'd go over with you guys some things not to do when you do a rooftop install. The way this tech cable comes into here, at that angle, with this gap on the top here. Can't quite see it with my finger, but you can see my screwdriver just slides right down into there. That's no good. That just allows a place for the water to come in. And it looks like dog balls. Scraps of wire left inside the unit. That's another no-no. Let's see what else we got here. Well, here's a good one. So, track pipe coming into the unit. Sure, it's allowed, but it's not really the most professional thing in the world to do. Especially when you've already got lengths of nipples up here anyways. You might as well just hard pipe it in. Here's another awesome bit. You can see that gas line all the way from over there. Comes through the gap in this Predator. Comes down. Notice it tees off. That goes off to another rooftop unit. There's our regulator. And there's our gas valve. So if I shut that gas valve off, maybe I've got an issue with this unit here. I'm going to kill the gas to the other unit. And that's no good. Now, you're replacing the rooftop unit, and you got to disconnect where the fasteners are all rusting out. The thing's been up here for 15, 20 years. Just replace the disconnect. Work it into the price of the job and it can be done. And once again, really poor wiring practices. The radius on that tech is too tight. You can tell that left-hand tech connector is not sitting flush inside the disconnect. It's not that anything's gonna fail, it's just not done right. So here's our gas line heading over to the other unit. Comes down. We're 1.5 inches off the deck, using 2x4s as spacers. Here's the next one. Comes over here, and it actually does have a gas valve over here. It didn't earlier. Looks like they've roofed in. Looks like they've roofed in now so that they can actually feed the gas from underneath. Another thing that's nice to see is to have the thermostat wire encased in seal tight. Keeps it out of the UV, keeps it away from damage from critters, birds, and the like. Also, if you're going to do a curb adapter, try not to have the unit just hanging way off the side. Usually you end up seeing this when you switch brands. A lot of times if it's a Carrier and then you switch to a York Predator, you'll end up with a funky curb adapter like this, where not only is it hanging off the compressor side on the long ways, it's also hanging off on the short ways. Yeah, it's nothing majorly wrong. Like, technically this install is not wrong. It's not as good as it could be, and it wouldn't have taken any more time to do it right. I mean, actually looking at it now, does not look like they had a pipe threader on site. Maybe for one piece they had some threading done. Everything else has been done with 2-foot nipples, 1-foot nipples. But even so, even for myself, where I work, we've got a pipe threader back at lockup, where we store all our filters and things like that. I just do my measurements, take a drive back there, cut all the pipe I need, come back and do the install. It's not that bad.